Guys, and welcome back to another season preview 2015-2016. This is how Hoops Lounge does it. Phil Boileau, Justin Rowan. We're going to do the New York Knicks with a projected ESPN starting lineup of Jose Calderon, Aaron Aflalo, Derek Williams, Robin Lopez, and Carmelo Anthony. This team has high expectations in the heads of the individual Knick fans, but in league approval, I don't think they're doing so well. So we're seeing them as the fourth worst team in the Eastern Conference this year, even though they do have Money Anthony. Justin, when we're looking at this team, they had a nice little off season. Do you want to get everyone caught up on what you thought were positive moves?
Well, I really like the addition of Robin Lopez. I actually like him as a fit better than DeAndre Jordan. I think DeAndre Jordan's a little bit limited, but we can save that for another time. Lopez is someone that's going to be able to operate the pick and roll really well with Jose Calderon. He can hit the mid-range kind of free throw line jumper. He has actually pretty decent passing vision. I think he's a good fit for the Knicks offense, not necessarily for the triangle, but he's going to help them on both ends of the floor. Aaron Aflalo, if he can regain his form, could be a very big pickup for them. It was only 2 years ago that he was averaging over 20 points per game and was one of the better shooting guards in the Eastern Conference. So hopefully coming back east is going to help him. Calderon, you're going to get what you're going to get out of Calderon. He's going to shoot 95% from the free throw line. He's going to hit his open shots. He's not going to turn the ball over. Hopefully he can stay on the floor. He has had some injury concerns. And then Carmelo Anthony's Carmelo Anthony. If he's healthy, he's one of the best players in the league. They're a team with upside. They have definite upside. I could easily see them sneaking into that 8th spot, but there are still a lot of questions there, particularly at the point guard spot.
I agree there, and while we're talking about upside, and I don't necessarily agree with you all the way with Carmelo Anthony. I think offensively he's one of the best players in the league, but this is a conversation that people have about this guy every day, so we'll skip past that. Bringing in some young talent, which isn't something you hear about all the time with the New York Knicks. Jerian Grant is a 6'5" point guard who brought in a lot of high hopes, trading away Tim Hardaway Jr. But more importantly, Kristaps Porzingis. We've covered him a few times here on hoopslounge.com. Big time talent, arguably one of the best producers in the summer league, especially on the defensive end. People were pretty surprised by his ability to seal out his man, block shots and everything on top of his stellar shooting. He showed his ability to shoot well. He didn't always hit his shots, but he's a rookie. He's going to figure it out. Now he's playing behind super giant of a NBA player, Derek Williams. So let's not kid ourselves. He's probably going to have a shot to start somewhere down the line. I think he still definitely needs to put on some weight, but he is their future. I mean, there is no player on this team that, in 5 years, I think is going to be better than this guy. Unless Anthony just figures out how to stay in super shape. But Kristaps Porzingis and Robin Lopez, I actually like that front court. I actually like the ability for Porzingis to weak side shot block next to a big body like Lopez. I like his ability to stretch the floor. Robin Lopez can pass out to him. Carmelo Anthony, to me, look, you're never going to convince me that he's one of the best players in the league. I think he's a ball stopper. I think he is one of the main issues that Porzingis' development is going to be stunted. I think having Aflalo next to any of these players is beautiful. I like Aflalo and Robin Lopez. I think they play their positions to a T, 3-and-D, rebounding and defense, and Jose Calderon gets everyone involved. But when I say that Carmelo Anthony is the linchpin, win or lose, I'll just leave this question to you. Can Carmelo Anthony be the best player on a team that wins a championship?
I believe he can. For the same reason Dirk Nowitzki won a championship. That's somebody that doesn't make... I'm one of the biggest Dirk fans on the planet, but he's not someone that makes other players better. He's not someone that assists. He doesn't defend. Carmelo Anthony's at his best at power forward, and I think we're going to see a lot of Carmelo at power forward, which for that reason, I don't think Porzingis plays a lot unless he plays at center. They also got Kevin Serafin, which is a sneaky good pickup. So they got guys like even Langston Galloway, Robin Lopez, Serafin, Like, they got guys that can defend, so they're going to be able to get some stops theoretically, and kind of get out in transition and not just play in that half-court triangle offense, which can be tough for all these young players to fit into. And don't forget, we also have Theonis Antetokounmpo, the Greek Freak's brother in the D-League system, so he might be someone that gets called up depending how the season goes. But I think Carmelo Anthony at power forward, maybe slide a Flalo to small forward and Galloway in at shooting guard. I think that's going to give them their most versatility. That's going to be the best way that they can defend other teams' lineups and give them the best shot at winning and making a run for a playoff spot.
Absolutely, and on the heels of what you just said, there are two things that just popped to my mind. Is this not eerily reminiscent of the Darko going to a team that's a little bit too good to be able to play him, and he just sits on the bench with Porzingis? And why would you have not just drafted Hezonja instead of Porzingis? I know the hype, but Hezonja seems to fit your need much better with Anthony being able to play the power forward and Hezonja at your 3. Mm-hmm. But that's just my call.
Yeah, I think it was a good pick. I like the Porzingis pick, but with Anthony at power forward, I do agree. Hezonja would have made a lot of sense. But I think they're going to be okay. It's a little different than Darko being drafted by the Pistons, because the Pistons won a championship, and we're talking about the Knicks maybe getting an 8 seed in the weak East. So it's a little bit different. I don't think there's a lot of long term there. But I think the Knicks, like, they're hoping to be a free agent destination, and they have to show that they're somewhat competent to do that. So it's in their best interest to kind of win now. They didn't lock up a ton of their future money. There's no kind of real set roster spots other than Carmelo and Porzingis moving forward. So they're just trying to win now. They're trying to win now, especially because their draft pick's going to the Toronto Raptors. So they don't want that pick to be high.
No, exactly, and that was one of the more unheralded moves by Masai Ujiri, pulling off that draft pick. All right, well, listen, when we're looking at the New York Knicks, we know what we're getting. We're getting glitz, glamour, and a lot of Carmelo Anthony and Lala on the side. And let's not forget, off the wings of Derek Williams, the Phoenix shall rise. So between Justin and I, thanks for joining us for the New York Knicks. We'll catch you next time in the other preview.